It was the coldest night of winter when Hannah's life shifted in a way she never could have predicted. Snow wrapped the city in a quiet stillness, muting the usual noise of traffic and footsteps, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Hannah stood on the steps of her brownstone apartment, exhausted after another draining day at the marketing agency where she worked as a senior coordinator. Overworked, underpaid, and constantly carrying the weight of expectations she never asked for. As she fumbled with her keys, her mind numb from stress, something caught her attention. Huddled near her doorway, just inches from her apartment entrance, sat a man who looked to be in his early 30s. He cradled a small blonde girl, no older than 4, wrapped tightly in his arms. Snow clung to his dark hair. His thin gray sweater was damp and offered little protection from the bitter cold. But it was his eyes that stopped Hannah in place, tired, guarded, and filled with a quiet kind of desperation that spoke louder than words ever could. He didn't ask her for help. He didn't beg. He simply held the child closer, shielding her from the cold with his own body. If you believe in the power of kindness, and second chances, in doing the right thing, even when it's inconvenient, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Warriors. Your support keeps these stories alive. Hannah hesitated. She had always believed in keeping her distance. Strangers came with complications, and complications were something she didn't have the energy for. But the little girl's flushed cheeks, her snow-dusted boots, and the way the man sat frozen, refusing to move so she could stay warm, something pierced through Hannah's exhaustion. Almost without thinking, she spoke. "You can come in," she said softly. "Just for a bit. Warm up." The man looked stunned, as if kindness was something he hadn't expected, or maybe hadn't received, in a long time. After a brief pause, he nodded and gently lifted the sleeping child, following Hannah inside with quiet gratitude. She gave them space, setting them near the heater while she poured hot chocolate and found towel. He looked like someone who had spent a long time surviving without asking for help. His name was Daniel. The little girl was Lily. The storm worsened that night. Train shut down. Roads iced over. By morning, Lily had a slight fever, and Daniel looked like he hadn't slept at all. Against her better judgment, Hannah offered breakfast, then a blanket, then one more night. One night turned into 3. Over simple meals and quiet conversations, she learned their story. Daniel was a widower. His wife had died in a car accident 2 years earlier, leaving him alone with a 6-month-old baby. He had walked away from everything. His city, his startup, his former life, tried to rebuild from nothing. They'd been living out of cheap motels, surviving on vending machine food, waiting for the right opportunity that never seemed to come. Daniel was intelligent, thoughtful, and deeply kind. Too good, Hannah thought, to be this broken by life. But she knew better than most, life didn't reward goodness. She had grown up watching her own single mother work herself to exhaustion just to keep the lights on. That same lesson had shaped Hannah. Be strong, be independent, never ask for help. Maybe that's why she opened her door. Maybe she saw herself in Lily and her mother in Daniel. As days passed, Daniel fixed her leaking sink. He reorganized her cluttered closet. In the evenings, he read bedtime stories to Lily while Hannah worked nearby, comforted by a warmth she hadn't realized she was missing. It wasn't romance. Not yet. It was something quieter. 2 people caught in the same storm, sharing shelter without expectation. Then Monday came. Hannah rushed into work for a mandatory meeting. The agency had been acquired, and everyone was to meet the new CEO in person. Her thoughts were still on Daniel, on whether she should help him with groceries or a short-term place to stay. But the moment the conference room doors opened, her world tilted. The man who walked in was Daniel. Except now he wore a tailored black suit. His posture was confident, his voice steady. Lily was nowhere in sight. As the room fell silent, he introduced himself, Mr. Daniels, the new CEO. Hannah couldn't breathe. His presentation was sharp, visionary, and deeply human. He spoke about culture, empathy, and leadership rooted in understanding. The same man who had once shivered on her doorstep now commanded the room with quiet authority. Later, he asked to speak privately. In a glass-walled office, Daniel explained everything. He hadn't meant to deceive her. After losing his wife, he had stripped himself of status and comfort, wanting to understand people again, who they were when money and titles were gone. Hannah had been the first person in a long time to offer kindness without conditions. He offered her a promotion, not out of gratitude, but because he had seen her strength, her leadership, and her heart. Still, Hannah needed time. She pulled back, kept things professional, and Daniel respected that. Weeks passed. She watched him transform the company, raising wages, offering flexibility, listening to everyone equally. Slowly, her walls softened. She found her way back to Lily's laughter, to share meals, to trust. Because Daniel may have entered her life needing shelter, but Hannah realized she had needed it too. A reminder that kindness still matters, that good people still exist, that extraordinary moments often begin quietly. By spring, they were no longer just colleagues. They were building something real, rooted in honesty, compassion, and second chances. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Warriors. Before you go, leave a comment. Have you ever helped someone without knowing who they truly were? Or has someone helped you when you needed it most? We read every story,